Hello and welcome to Megan's Minute. I'm your host, Megan Lavin, and together with Allergic Living, we discuss topics that affect families who live with food allergies. This month, I want to share a big step we made for my son who has multiple food allergies. He went on his first away soccer trip without any family. You see, he belongs to a club soccer team, and they had a tournament over 500 miles away. With me just starting my job, I didn't have the time off to take him. So we debated and ultimately decided to let him ride along and stay with another family from the team. To say I was a little nervous is an understatement. There were a few things though that helped me feel better beforehand, which I'd like to share. One is that we've been to this location before, so we knew there were safe restaurants along the driving route for eating while traveling, as well as safe restaurants in the actual area from previous visits. They were staying at an Airbnb, which meant that I could pack him frozen homemade meals he could reheat and cook for himself, along with ample freezer and fridge space, so it wouldn't be just like a mini fridge in a hotel room. And the mom he traveled with, even though she'd never taken care of my son before, was so kind and willing to talk everything through with me. She really put me at ease with her willingness to be accommodating and listen, even making sure all the food stops along the trip were safe for him. I told her, you guys can eat at different places as long as he has somewhere to go. No, she made sure that everywhere they went, they all ate together, which I thought was incredibly thoughtful. I also knew that my son knows how to self-administer epinephrine. And if you missed that video, the surprise benefit of biologic therapies, be sure to go back and watch that episode as well. My son also had a gizmo watch with him, which meant that I could call or text him at any time, and having that frequent communication gave me a lot of peace of mind. He's older, he's very responsible, he understands how to read food labels, and consistently carries his auto injectors, as well as is willing to use them. So I felt he was ready. Of course, I overpacked on food. He brought a ton home, but I'd rather have that than him go hungry. We also sat down together beforehand and wrote out his meal plan so I could make food I knew he'd actually be excited to eat. I wanted to make sure he was getting enough calories for this big tournament, plus some fun extras, like the gluten-free Oreos and snacks to fill in those gaps just in case they were stuck at the fields for a long time. This trip was a huge milestone. He had to remember to build in time for things like cooking his pizza, managing his schedule before leaving, and making sure he's feeding himself, though I did hear several of the moms offered to help and took really good care of him. I'm also grateful that through sports, we have opportunities like this to test things out. This means that when he goes off to college, it won't be his first time traveling and fending for himself. More practice, I think, the better. And of course, he did great. And I hope you can see what a big accomplishment this was. This was years in the making, so please don't think this happened overnight. This was, learning to order for himself at a restaurant, learning to ask questions, learning to be okay eating differently than others. It all culminated in this soccer tournament where, with a little motherly pride, I'll add that they took first place. I'm so happy for him. So if you want to hear more topics about traveling with food allergies, we've done different destinations, how to handle birthday parties, all the different topics. You can find those on Allergic Living's IGTV or their YouTube channel. Be sure to check out other Megan's Minutes there, and I will see you next month.